Assassin's Creed Shadows is the game that fans have been demanding for nearly 2 decades. At least, that's what we kept hearing in the lead up to its March 2025 release. After years of Norse raiders, Greek mercenaries, and Egyptian Avengers, the franchise has finally embraced Feudal Japan. But now, with the dust settled and players having spent hours in this long-awaited setting, it's time to ask the question that really matters. Is Shadows truly the victory that the Assassin's Creed community has been waiting for? Or is it just another beautiful open world wearing the hidden blade?
Our people deserve to be freed of the oppressor's grasp.
To truly understand if Shadows delivers on its promises, we need to start with the foundation that supports everything else, the world itself. For the first time, we're given a fully realized vision of 16th century Japan, where journeys take us from the bustling streets of Kyoto to the mountainous landscapes of central Honshu and the coastal sediments along the inland sea. But what makes this recreation of Japan truly remarkable isn't just its geographic scope. Ubisoft Quebec completely rebuilt their already impressive engine to create what remains one of the most visually striking games of 2025. Ray-traced reflections make every puddle and surface come alive with startling realism. Dynamic weather systems don't just change the skybox, they transform the entire mood of the world around you. The attention to detail is staggering, from the way individual raindrops collect on armor to how light filters through the delicate paper screens of traditional Japanese architecture. Each district has its own distinct visual identity, from the imposing military castles to the humble farming villages scattered across the countryside. And more impressively, the game's seasonal system means the same location will transform dramatically over time. Cherry blossoms give way to summer greenery, which turns to autumn gold before being blanketed in winter snow, all affecting not just visuals, but gameplay as well. But a beautiful world means nothing if we can't interact with it in meaningful ways. This is where Shadows makes its boldest move yet.
People so quick to abuse their power do not deserve to keep it.
Assassin's Creed has always followed a core philosophy. If it doesn't enhance the fantasy, it doesn't belong. But Shadows takes that idea to entirely new heights by offering something that the series has needed for years: meaningful choice in how you approach the world. The most immediate change you'll notice is in the dual protagonist system. For the first time, players can freely switch between 2 distinctly different characters. Naoe, the agile shinobi seeking revenge, and Yasuke, the powerful samurai searching for purpose. It fundamentally changes how you engage with the game's systems. Naoe excels at stealth, agility, and precision attacks. Her ability to hide in the shadows, crawl through tight spaces, and strike with devastating speed makes her perfect for classic Assassin's Creed gameplay. Yasuke, meanwhile, brings a completely different approach to the table. His immense strength allows him to break through barriers, stagger multiple enemies, and engage in head-on combat that would be suicide for Naoe. His samurai training emphasizes honorable, direct confrontation, the antithesis of the Brotherhood's usual methods. But the real evolution is in how these playstyles interact with the game's quest design. Most missions can be completed with either character, allowing you to tackle objectives based on your preferred approach rather than forcing you into a specific playstyle. Planning to infiltrate a heavily guarded castle? Naoe can scale walls, slip through windows, and eliminate targets without raising the alarms. But maybe you prefer a more direct approach. Yasuke can challenge enemies to formal duels and simply overwhelm defenses with raw power. The combat system has been completely revamped to accommodate these different styles. Naoe's combat focuses on counters, speed, and tool usage, while Yasuke employs a more deliberate, devastating approach with unblockable attacks and crowd control abilities. These gameplay innovations do more than just refresh the series' mechanics, they serve as the perfect vehicle for storytelling. As you shift between Naoe's shadows and Yasuke's strength, a narrative unfolds that's equally concerned with personal vendettas and nation-shaping conflicts. After all, in a time of warring states and shifting alliances, having 2 distinct perspectives doesn't just change how you play, it transforms how you understand the story itself. Shadows gives us not just faceless Templars, but a complex web of antagonistic forces led by the Shinbakufu, a secretive organization whose masked members have infiltrated every level of Japanese society. The story begins with an assault on the Iga province, home to the legendary Shinobi, including our protagonist Naoe. This devastating attack leaves her family broken and sets her on a path of revenge against both the Shinbakufu and, initially, Yasuke himself, who participated in the attack before questioning his allegiance to Oda Nobunaga. What makes this conflict truly effective isn't just the personal stakes, but how it weaves into the larger historical tapestry. The chaos created by warring daimyo and foreign influences forces both protagonists to confront not just external threats, but their own understanding of honor, duty, and revenge. Naoe's journey explores what it means to rebuild from nothing, to carry on traditions when their foundations have been destroyed. Her quest to track down each masked member of the Shinbakufu presents some of the most compelling assassination sequences since the Ezio trilogy, each target requiring investigation, planning, and execution, rather than simply following waypoints. Yasuke's narrative, meanwhile, offers something that the series has rarely explored. What happens when someone realizes they've been fighting for the wrong side? His crisis of identity as a foreigner in Japan, coupled with his growing disillusionment with his master's methods, creates genuine emotional depth that extends beyond the usual assassin versus Templar dynamic. What's particularly refreshing is how their stories intersect and evolve. What begins as mutual distrust gradually transforms into reluctant cooperation and eventually true partnership, mirroring the larger themes of cultural exchange and adaptation that define this period of Japanese history. The narrative isn't without its flaws, however. The pacing occasionally stumbles, particularly in the middle sections where investigation sequences can feel repetitive. And while the historical elements are meticulously researched, the game sometimes sacrifices narrative momentum for historical detail, leading to exposition-heavy sequences that interrupt the otherwise excellent flow.
I will kill you too.
You will try.
But this isn't just a game about historical events, it's about the people caught within them. Naoe's evolution from vengeful survivor to calculated leader of her own network of agents provides that emotional backbone of the story. Her struggle to balance personal revenge with the larger goals of the Hidden Ones creates genuine moments of internal conflict rarely seen in the series. Yasuke's journey is equally compelling. Historically inspired by the real African samurai who served Oda Nobunaga, his fish-out-of-water perspective offers a fresh lens through which to view feudal Japan. His outsider status, both to Japan and eventually to Nobunaga's inner circle, creates a character whose divided loyalties mirror the player's own position as a visitor to this historical period. The supporting cast is equally well realized, from historical figures like Oda Nobunaga and Akechi Mitsuhide to fictional creations like Junjiro, whose own journey from antagonist to ally parallels the game's themes of redemption and understanding. What's most impressive is how these relationships evolve naturally through gameplay rather than just cutscenes. Your choices and how to approach missions affect how characters perceive both protagonists. Complete missions with brutal efficiency as Yasuke, and allies will treat him with a mixture of respect and fear. Take a more merciful approach as Naoe, and previously hostile NPCs might become valuable informants.
Because you believe in my cause, we have come together, despite it all.
But enough about what happens on the surface. Let's talk about what's happening under the hood. The most obvious strength is visual fidelity. Character models display extraordinary detail, from natural skin textures to clothing that moves and reacts realistically. But it's the small details that really show how far the technology has come. The way water ripples when disturbed, how shadows stretch and deform as light sources move, even the way crowds form natural groups and react to events happening around them. The game's AI stands out as a particular achievement. Enemies don't just run at you or take cover. They work together, adapt to your tactics, and even learn from your playstyle. Guards will reinforce areas you've previously infiltrated, and commanders will adjust patrol routes based on where their subordinates have been eliminated. The sound design is equally impressive, with ambient audio changing based on weather, time of day, and surroundings. The score seamlessly blends traditional Japanese instruments with the series' signature motifs, creating a soundscape that feels both authentic and distinctly Assassin's Creed. But for all its technical brilliance and narrative ambition, Shadows does stumble in one critical area: its approach to open-world activities. The game's side content follows a disappointingly familiar pattern: collectibles to find, territories to clear, and random encounters that repeat with minimal variation. While these activities are dressed up in new Japanese-themed wrapping, they can't hide the fact that they're fundamentally the same tasks we've been doing since the original game. Standard open-world filler activities are present in abundance, and that's where Shadows hasn't evolved with the times. Photo opportunities, repetitive street crimes, and simple environmental puzzles feel like relics of an older era of game design. You'll regularly be stopping the same few types of bandit attacks with the same few button sequences, or clearing hideouts that feel eerily similar to the ones you've already completed dozens of times. Now, there are exceptions, of course. Several side missions do offer more substantial storytelling, almost like mini-campaigns within the larger game. The quest chain involving Portuguese traders and their influence on local culture stands out as a highlight. But these more thoughtful missions only make the contrast with the more repetitive activities more stark. The rewards for completing these activities vary widely. Some offer genuinely exciting story revelations or unique gear with meaningful gameplay impacts, while others provide nothing more than resources to upgrade your abilities. The tasks are often so mundane and repetitive that the question becomes whether these small rewards are worth the time investment that they require.
We will bring justice back to the people.
So, what does all this mean for Assassin's Creed as a franchise? Based on everything we've experienced, Shadows isn't just another entry. It's a statement of intent for what the series can be when it balances its heritage with innovation. The dual protagonist approach, the refined stealth systems, the enhanced combat. These aren't just features, they're the foundation for a future that honors what made the series special in the first place. Think about how far we've come since the original game. Back then, the idea of an Assassin's Creed game with both satisfying stealth and combat seemed revolutionary. Now, Ubisoft is rethinking how these systems interact in ways that feel natural and necessary. They're not just adding features for the sake of having more content, they're fundamentally reconsidering what makes an Assassin's Creed game work. With Ubisoft now working on the next installment and rumors swirling about returning to a single protagonist approach, the lessons learned from Shadows, both its successes and failings, will undoubtedly shape the future of the franchise. But perhaps most importantly, Shadows remembers what made the original games so special. It's not just about the historical tourism or the parkour or even the assassinations. It's about creating moments of genuine emotion and excitement that stay with you long after you put down the controller. Those moments when you genuinely feel like you're living in a different time and place, making decisions that matter within the context. So, is Assassin's Creed Shadows a true win for the community? In many ways, yes. It offers the most refined stealth gameplay that the series has seen in years. The dual protagonist system creates genuine variety that previous titles couldn't match. The Japanese setting is realized with the attention to detail and respect that it deserves. And for players who fell in love with the series for its blend of history and fantasy, Shadows delivers that mixture in a compelling way. But it's not without significant flaws. The open world activities feel dated compared to the innovations in the rest of the game. The pacing issues in the middle sections can sap momentum from an otherwise engaging narrative, and while the historical elements are meticulously researched, the connections to the larger Assassin's Creed mythology sometimes feels tedious at best. What we have is a game that reaches incredible heights in many areas while playing it safe in others. It's a brilliant step forward that pushes the franchise in meaningful ways while occasionally getting caught in the familiar trappings of its predecessors. For fans of Assassin's Creed, for fans of historical action games, and for anyone who ever wants to experience Feudal Japan from the dual perspectives of Shinobi and Samurai, Shadows is an essential experience, even if it doesn't quite reach the impossible standards that it set for itself.
We are the shadows.
That served the light.
But what do you think about Assassin's Creed Shadows? Has it lived up to your expectations, or do you feel that it falls short in key areas? Let me know down in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth gaming analysis.